When we talk about machine learning, it's kind of rocket science territory. So if you are about to make a decision about machine learning, it can be a little bit difficult to know what are the right questions to ask and is this right for you? So in this video, we'll be looking at the concept of machine learning, and we'll also look at an example that you can apply in supply chain. I'm trying to make these videos very down to earth, but if you are curious at, you can say, more in-depth information, or you can say more examples, you can just forward me your mail and then I will send you my notes of each video. As a starting point, all machine learning models can be categorized as either supervised or unsupervised. A supervised machine learning model is where we feed the model with the input data, and we also show it the correct answers, the outputs. So for example, if you want to predict the stock market, you can use input variables like interest rate, the inflation, and then you can also show the model the stock price, which is the output you want. Based on this information, the model will train itself to come up with as accurate predictions as possible. So with supervised machine learning, you can say that you are kind of telling the model what it is you want to achieve. This is not the case with unsupervised machine learning. With unsupervised machine learning, you are feeding the data you're feeding the model with data, but you are not exactly sure what it will come out with. So for example, if you want to segment your customers according to order frequencies, order volumes, value and so on, you can provide this to an unsupervised model, and then it will group your data into clusters and find, you can say, groupings in the data where your customers are most alike. We'll start off with a supervised regression model. This is a very powerful approach, and it's used in many areas like forecasting, predictive maintenance, network optimization, and so on. So let's start with a simple example. You probably remember the concept of linear regression. This is, you can say, machine learning in its most simple form. Essentially, a regression analysis just creates the line that most accurately, fits two variables. So if I was running an ice cream shop and I needed a daily forecast, I could just plot temperature and sales, and then regression would kind of give me the line that would best fit that relation. So for every value of temperature, I can then get an estimate of the sales. Here, the learning part is that every time I add a new observation, a new daily observation, the regression line will adapt so it improves in the prediction of ice cream sales. What if we have 100 shops? And what if we start adding flavors and promotions? It's much more difficult, or it's a nightmare to plan, but we still need a forecast. This kind of problem or challenge can be solved with decision trees. Decision trees are very powerful because they can work with both text and they can work with numbers. And also they can take relations that are not linear. So if we feed our data to a decision tree, it will start creating a root node, then it will create a branch, and in the end it will create a leaf, and this is where you have, you can say, your prediction. The power of a decision tree is that it creates the criteria for splitting the branches, so it keeps on refining these criteria until it becomes as accurate as possible. And this is why sometimes these, you can say, trees get very deep or very granular. In our case, we could, in a very simplified example, we could say, let's provide the model with holiday information. So yes, no holiday, promotion, yes, no, date, of course. What else? Let's take that as a point of departure. If we feed it that information, you can see that we have created a simple decision tree where all our information triggers down to the final leaf, and this is where we have our, you can say, our estimate for this particular value or input values that we provided. This was really oversimplified, but I hope that you got an idea of the concept of machine learning. It takes many forms, but one of the key, you can say, models is decision tree based on regression. As I mentioned before, if you want more in-depth information, don't hesitate. You can just forward me a mail and I'll send you my notes for this micro lesson. Thanks for your time.